What's up, man?
The way you said that is like it's like you weren't even here before. You just joined as soon as I said right.
Yeah, I just joined the call, man.
What a coincidence to meet you here, Mo.
Oh wow, what are you doing here, man? It's been
I
a while.
wanted to speak about the game Valheim. What are you doing here?
I wanted to speak about the game of Valheim. What are you doing here?
Oh my god.
Alright.
Okay, so I found this article about the top 10 unpopular opinions on Valheim.
Oh no, here we go. Here we go again, guys.
So it's basically a list of the 10 most unpopular opinions, on Valheim.
Mm-hmm.
So before we start, I just want to mention that the person that wrote this article, I don't know if they agree with these or not. So the first
So
point,
you want to get started?
Yeah, I mean, let's go. The first point we're going to look at is number 10 here. Going MMORPG would have been a better approach. So in other words, they're saying that they would prefer the game if it was an MMORPG as opposed to what it is now.
What are your thoughts on that?
What's your opinions on that?
What are your opinions on that one? Because I know we're going to disagree on this one.
Well, I disagree. Mainly because functionally, it would cost too much for it to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, MMORPGs are expensive to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
And what would happen is Valheim would likely to have like cosmetics, microtransactions, or a subscription of some sort to keep itself going.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I think, the way the world works, you can cut down a tree and it's like permanently gone.
True.
The island would be stripped of resources before you even logged on, you know what I mean?
True.
With having that many players.
Well, I personally kind of agree for this one. Like, no, really, I kind of agree, kind of disagree. So essentially, if it could be an MMO, if it was viable, that would be fucking fantastic. I think this game would look fantastic as an MMO.
Yeah, so you
but I understand why it isn't,
So you kind of agree with the vision of it rather than
Exactly, because I don't think it was really practical for a small studio to come up with an MMO. Studio of 5 people, they're like 5 people or something, to come up with an MMO this scale.
Next point is number 9. Valheim is boring. The main thing we call it boring about is because they think it's a really grindy game. They think there's too much grinding. What do you think about that?
I don't think that game is not that grindy at all, to be honest. Compared to a lot of other games, I think it just he just doesn't like this style of game. He doesn't like RPGs in general, because most RPGs I know, the grinding level is similar to Valheim, if not way worse.
Yeah, survival games in particular.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is one of the least grindy survival games that I've ever played.
You said that you were saying something about how Minecraft is just
is more grindy than this.
Yeah.
And that's for kids, so it's an objectively more action-adventure oriented survival game than it is a grinding game. One of the good things about Valheim is it minimises the most tedious aspects of survival games like hunger and grinding. So is this person even played it?
Maybe you just don't like the style of game, because in reality it's the genre is like this, Yeah. And it's not even that bad compared to other games in that genre.
Yeah, exactly. So next off is the game feels dated. Talking about the graphics.
Okay. I do think the game looks dated in terms of the textures, even some of the models and stuff. I can see it at 100%. Yeah. But where it irks me, it was how he said the game looks like it was made in 2005. Bro, have you seen a 2005 game? That's bullshit.
So this isn't just saying, I think the game looks bad, so, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's not what he's saying. I really don't understand how this game blew up. It's just so ugly, is what he says. He's basically saying he doesn't like the game because of how it looks.
And this is an internal debate. I feel like there's 2 styles of gamers. There's so much. There's one style that cares so much about aesthetics, and then there's actually the type that care more about the actual contents and functionality.
Yeah.
And none of them are
the latter type.
Yeah, we're the latter type. And I would argue that aesthetics is not the most important part of the game, not even close.
Imagine calling this 2005, man. Fucking hell.
Exactly. Just the fact that he says 2005 just tells me this guy wasn't even around. He wasn't even born in 2005, bro.
Yeah.
He was born in 2006.
I went back to some 2005 games, kind of ire, and they look a lot more blocky than you remember.
Dude, the 2005 games, they look pixely, blocky. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Here it's just textures. It's not even the game actually looks good graphically. It's just the textures are sometimes low res in certain parts, and the models are.
Yeah.
Sometimes big.
Okay, so seven. We should be a way to teleport ores. So for anyone who doesn't know, you can build portals in the game to teleport you between locations, but you can't take ores through those portals. What's your opinion on that?
I understand it. Yeah. I can see why he doesn't like that, but I personally think it makes a lot of sense for a Viking game to have traveling. That makes a lot of sense to me, because
yeah, he actually suggests an idea instead. I think we should be able to transport metals for a cost. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, I think that would be quite good. I disagree that we should be able to just transport metals around. I think it's fun to kind of do the traveling. Yeah. I think the unexpected adventures you can have where you're having them is good.
Here's the thing: if we could transport anything through the portal, then there's like the end game. Towards the end game, it wouldn't even feel like a Viking game anymore, because like Viking pirates, travel is it's part of the whole experience. The journey is.
I mean, when you go to another island, you need to kind of have like that barrier between your home and where you are now. Imagine you're like a monk, right, in like medieval England. Some Vikings kick your door in, and they take all of your artifacts and stuff like that, all of your money. Then they just walk through a portal and fuck off home. You know what I mean? So number six. Boss battles are not fun.
Yeah, so basically his point was like, you have to die in a loop a lot to beat the boss, which by the way you don't have to. You can theoretically, beat a boss and not have died multiple times. In fact, I'm pretty sure we have done that, right? I think we have like at least once or twice. Well, at least one of us didn't die multiple times. So that's.
I didn't die at all.
Yeah, but that's because the boss was going easy on you.
No, I'm in good with the boss. He's made for me.
Yeah, he's your buddy, bro.
So I don't think he does have a style issue. I don't think he has a fighting style at all. Because if you read the post, the person who wrote it, he doesn't really know much about the game. He claims that there's no way to roll and stuff like that. Which you can roll around. So he's obviously not got the mechanics down before he's gone for the bosses, which is probably why he's not having a good time.
When he was called out for being wrong about not having a roll, right? He's backtracked and he said, "Oh yeah, the roll's just not useful and it's slow." But like that's not what you said earlier.
The roll has saved me a bunch of times.
True, it's super important. If you don't understand the point of the roll, I think it just lacks experience on here. This is somebody which doesn't have the skill for this type of game, or just hasn't put enough time into it.
Number 5. So this person thinks the game is too forgiving. In other words, he doesn't think there's any consequences for whatever you do.
Yeah. So his point was that you can die multiple times and they go retrieve the body, right? That's what his point was, right?
Yeah.
So.
Which you can do.
Yep. But the thing is, every time you die, you lose stat points. Right?
And by the way, are really important.
And I remember one of our friends was really complaining about like, oh, now I died. Now I'm so far back from everybody.
For me, when I first started to play the game, I had this kind of like aggressive playstyle to it. And I died quite a few times because of it. And each time I died, I noticed that my stats were going back, and it was kind of hard to pick them back up. So I kind of got forced to change my playstyle if I wanted to, keep building up stats. I mean, if you're forced to change your playstyle to avoid consequences of the game, how can the game be too forgiving?
Yeah, that's not true at all.
And obviously, it's not tedious, the dying.
Yeah, he's probably expecting like you lose an item, you lose like your whole inventory, and that's it.
That would be really tedious. Yeah, earlier, we were speaking about grinding. People were like, "Oh, the game's too grindy." The game would be too grindy if you lost your items every time you died.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 4, Valheim is overrated.
This one, like.
Imagine unironically disliking the game because it's popular. Yeah, so what it says is the game is blowing up primarily because of the COVID lockdown and so many other disappointing games. I don't think that's true. I would be playing this whether COVID was happening or not.
The whole game industry is hitting the same way. It's not like, oh yeah, only these games are affected by people staying at home. It's the whole gaming industry as a whole. The games that are played the most are the ones that stand out the most. And the worst take out of this was how he said there's not enough games to play, which like, I don't know if you noticed this, but you don't have to play a recent game. You can go back and play older games. I don't know why people people have an aversion with playing older games. They just want to play next gen graphics and stuff like that. Yeah. But in reality, like, people still play GTA 5 to this day.
Like, fucking load up Skyrim if you're that bored.
Exactly. It's not just comparing Valheim to recent games. It's like comparing Valheim to every game ever.
Number 3. The built-in system is a bad thing. So basically Valheim is this kind of like cheat system, which allows you to pretty much do creative mode on.
Yeah.
And basically this person is saying you shouldn't be allowed to do that because it takes away from his own builds, pretty much. However, I find the built-in cheat system takes away a lot of prestige from the legitimate players. Like,
here's the thing, the game, the way that it works, typically people run their own servers. If someone's not cheating, I don't even use the term cheating, someone's using those commands in that server, it's because everybody's okay with it.
Yeah.
Right, typically.
No, this is a bit of content that's for people who just want to build, pretty much.
Yeah.
In their own private servers. It's a bit like creative mode on Minecraft. And he's saying you shouldn't be allowed to do that because his prestige, it affects his prestige. I mean, that's really selfish, I think.
If you want to play a game where there's no commands, just get people in a server who don't want to use them.
Number 2. The combat is not balanced.
What do you think about that one?
So this is basically someone saying the combat's too hard, and that, you know, there's some enemies that are too strong. Basically, his focus is on skeletons, and he's saying that, you know, he can kill most things fine, but skeletons in particular are hard for him for some reason. He doesn't know why. The reason why is because he's not using the right weapon. Skeletons are vulnerable to blunt damage. You know, different enemies have different vulnerabilities. So he's obviously using like a sword or a spear or something against skeletons when he should be using, you know, like a club or something.
And then the thing he was saying how they had the best equipment and stuff like that. Here's a hard to swallow pill for people who play this game. The game enforces tactics more than like grinding. You know, obviously a good weapon makes a big difference, but if you're misusing that weapon, you're gonna struggle either way. You know. I don't care how far you're into the game. You're not gonna melee fist fight an ogre.
Yeah. You know, if you want to 1v1 an ogre, you're gonna need to use tactics for it. You're gonna use like a bow or something and like dodge properly.
Yeah. Or just like punch and then like bob and weave. You know what I'm saying? Like give him the old Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. The game is kind of urging him to use new tactics. It doesn't like that. It wants to kind of just do the same thing over and over again. Sure. Which, you know, is fine, but you know, there's other games for that. This isn't the one for it.
Alright, the last one. Number 1.
Are underwhelming.
Full disclosure here, like we don't have much experience with the planes, like
we have
barely any, or none at all. More like none at all.
So I mean, his point is just that there's not a lot of content in the planes, which is, you know, I suppose is fair, but we need to remember this is an early access game.
Yeah.
The planes is end game content. We're not using we don't like to use early access as an excuse for things because you know, this is like end game content. You can't expect end game content in an early access game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is end game content, so of course, like, what's more likely to be unfinished, early game content or end game?
So yeah, I mean, that's that. We've got through. Yeah, we've got through all top 10 unpopular things.
But I gotta ask you something. Like, we need to discuss what are the best takes from this, and what are the worst arguments?
I think the best argument here would be number 7, the teleport thing. Well, you know, I think that's a fair point to make. I think it's nice that he actually gave an idea instead of just complaining about it.
My best would have been the MMO.
The MMO would have been. What do you mean?
No, not like it is the MMO. I don't know why I said it like that. But like, even though I kind of agreeing with the point that guy made, but like, I'd say the MMO, because like, imagine if this game was an MMO.
Yeah.
Right. I know it's not feasible considering the size of the team. Probably not. It's possible, but not very plausible.
My worst is number 4. Valheim is overrated. I just don't think it's ever valid at any point to complain that a game has too much good reviews.
I think complaining about I think maybe not wanting to play a game because it's super popular in your face, that's valid. But like playing the game and then not liking it because it's too popular, that's a whole other level. I have a runner-up though. I gotta say that the game is too forgiving. That point there.
All in all, you know, obviously we like Valheim.
Yeah, but all these points were brain dead though. Pretty much all the points except maybe like 1 or 2.
Yeah,
like fucking brain dead. Yeah. So what now, Martin?
I don't know. We don't know how to end this shit.